My mom had a strange habit of picking up trash, and when I was 5, she even rescued a bathtub. I accidentally cut my hand on it, and that spot became my secret stash for life. Whenever I had free time, I'd sneak money from my dad and hide it there, and by the time I was 10, I had amassed around 300,000. When I turned 11, my mom picked up a pair of glasses, and the moment I wore them, I could see the value of things. Using my savings, I hunted bargains on antiques, and after taxes, I was making $8 million a day. By 18, Yao Mimi had become a tycoon with 10 billion. After finishing the GA, I was ready to stop pretending. Who would have imagined that returning home one day, I'd find my dad with his lover, forcing my mom out with nothing. Huang Xuan, pack up and leave. Don't just stand there, he sneered. Mom was furious, ready to fight to the end, but I jumped in and covered her mouth. Mom, don't confuse yourself. His few coins aren't worth fighting over. When she realized it was me, tears welled up in her eyes. Anger, sadness, and a deep sense of grievance for raising an ungrateful child. I wasn't on my dad's side. I just didn't care about his money. Mom ran a small business making $2 million a year. Money I could turn into more in a day, so arguing was pointless. I led her to my room and showed her over 100 million saved in my account. My dad scoffed. Look at you, Wang Soon. Such a failure, so young yet clueless. Even your son knows that if you're left with nothing after divorce, he'll support me. What reason do you have to live? She stuck out her belly like she was 9 months pregnant. A cold smile on her lips, her eyes full of disdain, which made my blood boil. I opened my mouth, but her gaze stopped me. Don't even think of following me, she hissed. I won't pay for your college. My money goes to the child I carry. Don't expect anything from me. Then I saw a green light above her head, the effect of the unknown condiment my mother had added to our soup last week. It let me see the aura above people. Purple for wealth, red for disaster, pink for love, and green for being cheated on. My gaze fell on her, the woman screaming with a stunning figure, clearly my father's lover. Her belly had a large red stain, an omen the baby wouldn't survive. She shook, weak, collapsing into my dad's arms, terrified. Your son keeps staring at me. I'm scared, she whimpered. I ignored her. My father, sensing my attention, puffed up like a hero, glaring at me. Stop looking at her that way. If you try anything, I'll disown you. Hearing him, my mother stormed into the kitchen in fury, but my father quickly blocked her, shoving her toward the door to protect his lover. Seeing his cowardice made my heart turn cold. Back when his creditors came knocking, my father would hide like a turtle under the bed, leaving my mother to risk her life keeping him. Once, a creditor even tried to harass her, and my father just covered his ears and pretended not to hear. I followed him outside only to be glared at. You young man, shut up. Do you know the consequences? Luckily, the bodyguards I'd hired arrived just in time to prevent disaster. From that moment, my hatred for my father grew. I constantly urged my mother to get a divorce, but she was stubborn, insisting she had to give me a complete family, always believing my father could turn things around. And she was right. A year later, he seized an opportunity. His business improved, debts were cleared, and he even returned the 3 gold jewels he owed along with 200,000 in dowry. Life got better, but my mom's habit of picking up trash didn't change. She just feared my dad's judgment, so she often went out at night wearing a mask. Once, when I had to use the bathroom, I caught her sneaking out, and half an hour later she returned with big packages. The next morning, a pair of glasses appeared on my desk. At first, I thought they were ordinary, but once I put them on, I could see the true value of things. A month later, when my dad, claiming financial trouble, reduced my mom's child support, I panicked at the thought of going back to the old days. Taking the glasses, I went to the antique street to hunt for bargains. The first time, I bought a damaged bracelet for 5,000 euro and sold it for 300,000. From then on, I frequently scoured the antique street, making 20 million in just 1 month before ending that venture. People started noticing, saying, "Wow, kid, let me be your grandpa." And some even tried to introduce themselves as potential father figures. I subtly offered to introduce my mother to reliable, kind, financially secure older men, but she refused, insisting she only recognized my dad. I kept trying to show her I could make real money, but she remained obsessed with picking up trash, never giving me a moment's attention. Since money was never scarce at home, I occasionally tossed luxury items into the trash she passed by, keeping this secret until after the college entrance exam. That's when I decided to reveal it, only to discover my father was having an affair. Luck had never favored him. He was just chasing a different life. When the door slammed, my mother broke down, crying uncontrollably, overwhelmed with pain. I opened my bank account, hiding the numbers, ready to show her my 10-digit deposits. How could a housewife compete with that? If I left with nothing, how could I survive here? I flexed my mom's biceps, strengthened from years of picking up trash, hoping to draw her attention to my savings. To my surprise, she said urgently that if she left, she'd never be able to pick up trash again. Which trash can will have money so often? In piles? Which one? Even LV bags, Valentino shoes, even the latest Apple Pro Max, and used, brand new items, she exclaimed. Mom, is that why you never divorced all these years? Because you couldn't leave the trash bins? Her look of contempt was clear. Thanks to her trash picking, she had bought 2 villas in my name, all of which would be mine in the future. Then, from the depths of her bag, she pulled out a dazzling Hermes and an orange phone Max, quickly unlocking it to reveal her bank account. Smelly brat, she said. Look, over the years of picking up trash, I've saved 20 million, more than your father's company ever made. This place isn't lucky either, but I made it work. Your mother wasn't going to let anyone take what was hers. HMP, this house, even if I get divorced, stays with me. These trash cans must remain mine, she declared. I had always thought she stayed with my father for him, but it turned out she couldn't leave the trash bins either. I asked, Mom, if you're so rich, why dress so modestly every day? And why the wrinkles on your face? Before I could finish, she dashed to the bathroom and returned moments later, moving so fast I barely recognized her. Her skin was delicate as an eggshell, her face full of collagen, features flawless, better than 5 hoo-hoo. My father had really chosen sesame and lost a watermelon. My mother, visiting a high-end beauty salon 3 times a week, had to pretend to be poor so he wouldn't notice. Then she grabbed me by the collar, dragging me to the shabby storage room. Pressing an inconspicuous switch, the closet with tattered clothes suddenly opened to reveal an elevator. She pulled me in, pressed the button for floor -1, and when the doors opened, countless bright lights blinded me. I shielded my eyes, and when I could look again, I was stunned. A massive walk-in closet stretched before me. Jewelry sections, Hermes bags, luxury watches. My mother was unimaginably wealthy, and my father looked foolish and poor in comparison. Shang, this is a storage room I built at great expense. In the future, all of this will be yours, she said. I cleared my throat, ready to reveal my identity, but she pressed my lips together. Shang, now you see Mom's power, right? I picked all this from the trash. I won't give it up. Don't try to convince me otherwise. I'm calling a lawyer now. No matter the cost, we live here. I thought she'd let me speak, but she was already on the phone, fully determined. I felt torn. Should I tell her about my secret stash? Revealing it would take away her only joy after the divorce. Hiding it would keep me trapped in secrecy. After thinking it through, I decided she had to give up that joy so she could later work at my company. 50 is the perfect age to start anew. But when I went upstairs, she was gone. A message popped up. Xiang, Mom has proof of your father's infidelity. Don't worry, I'll make him pay. You're naturally foolish. In college, you'll get a degree, maybe become a technician, but you won't be extremely successful. When Mom gets the house, you'll join me picking trash at night, saving money that way. Relax. These are the tools you'll need. She was busy with lawyers, instructing me to buy whatever I needed without hesitation. Money was easy to find, and wasting it would be foolish. She reminded me of everything I'd done. Stealing from my father, skipping classes to find bargains, building connections, earning money hard, and then carefully placing luxury items in the trash for others to find. Every night, I watched until everything was taken before sleeping. I had essentially dug my own grave, but I accepted it silently. Everything she had was rightfully hers. She even sent a detailed guide for picking up trash, showing which bins contained valuables, which had discarded electronics, even codes. Gritting my teeth, I accepted it all. Then I started contacting my father's clients. "Mr. Chun, if you terminate the contract, I will cover all penalties and offer a 1% discount," I said. "Sir, I'll comply fully," he replied. After hanging up, my mood lifted considerably, and the next day, I purposely went to my father's company to watch the show unfold. "President Chun, are you serious? We're on the verge of success. Breaking the contract now will cause huge trouble," I heard. "Yes, if you break it, you'll have to pay $2 million, but that's just money." "I'll pay it," he replied. He paid, calmed down, and left, while my father was still in his office, throwing things around, demanding, "Investigate. Find out which companies stole him from us." Watching him suffer the consequences, I felt satisfied and prepared to leave. I considered telling him to give the house to my mother, but decided not to deliver the message, letting him sue instead. "And I advise you to give that house to my mother," I thought. "Otherwise," he challenged, "I'm your father. Will you disrespect me?" He pressed. I stood firm. "Yes, even if he divorces your mother, he's still your father. But you're of age and should know right from wrong. If you don't sign the divorce agreement in 3 days and give the house to my mother, I guarantee your small business will go bankrupt." "Ah, maniac," I thought, but ignored him. That day, my mother was explaining ways to cut back on garbage expenses when my father appeared at the door of the separate room, the main door whose password he'd already changed. I opened the electronic lock. "Don't waste my time with nonsense. Just answer. Do you accept my proposed conditions or not?" My father's face turned a livid pig liver shade with frustration. Silence fell, and I decided to push things through. Gritting his teeth, he finally said, "Okay, this house is yours. We'll sign the divorce agreement now." I had my mother prepare the documents and move to open the door, barely cracking it when he shoved it violently, almost hitting me in the face. Dodging perfectly, I watched him become furious, lifting a baseball bat at the entrance. "I still intend to hand it over. Dad, considering our blood relation, I haven't left your company immediately. Touch me and you'll never survive in this industry again," I warned. The bat went up and down several times, but finally he threw it to the ground. "Hang Yang, who are you really? Why is everyone listening to you now?" he muttered. I didn't answer. If he knew how rich I had become and regretted the divorce, he'd find out during the upcoming Chamber of Commerce auction. A perfect chance to embarrass him and even find myself a stepfather. "Wow, Wong Swan. I see you've been clever all along, letting a man defend you. But it's just a house. I won't hold it against you," he muttered as he signed quickly and stormed off. My intention wasn't to ruin him. After all, my first real luck in wealth came because of him. I planned to arrange a month-long graduation trip, but before I could finish, my mother burst in, full of energy. "Let's go, Xiang. Mom's taking you treasure hunting today. I'll save the best trash for you. Want to bet? If I win, you grant me a wish. If you win, you don't go out for fun this summer and instead learn trash picking with me." I agreed. Tonight, I deliberately didn't let anyone place luxury goods or money in the bins. I couldn't believe it when my mother nimbly approached the first trash can, reaching in to find a pile of shiny items. Among them was a battered, unconscious woman covered in wounds. "Xiang, rescue this beauty in distress. You're grown now. This is your responsibility," my mother urged. After a moment, I acted, asking my assistant to contact a reputable hospital. Just as the injured woman was being rushed to the emergency room, a news alert popped up on my phone. Sue E., the wife of Central Harbor's richest man, had been kidnapped, apparently targeted because of her wealth. My right eye twitched. Perfect. She looked exactly like the woman my mother had rescued from the dump. I quickly forwarded the news to my mother. "Oh my gosh, Don't pick up trash anymore. You're in trouble again, I thought. From Hong Kong to San Jing, what a long distance. How did she even end up here? Reports said my mother had picked her up from the dump. Did I believe it? It didn't matter. Small challenges were opportunities. Mom thought this woman was beautiful. My soulmate, she said, and I had to handle it myself. When I sent another message, I discovered my mother had blocked me and run off. True to form, when problems arose, she left them for me. I decided to let her handle her own way, giving her money later so she could return home safely. But when the woman woke up, the doctor stunned me. A head injury had caused complete memory loss, and he didn't know when she would recover. I slumped in my chair. It was all over. Meanwhile, the girl in the hospital bed, 4 years older than me, acted clingy and cute, sending goosebumps down my spine. I ordered food through my assistant and immediately contacted the number from the news. After sending a photo of Sui, the reply came instantly. A plane had been dispatched and confidentiality was emphasized. I also hired high-priced security to ensure Suyi's safety before Mr. Zhou arrived, and fortunately, everything remained stable. Thank you for saving my daughter. Ask for anything, I'll do it, the father said. But I assured him all that mattered was her safety. The girl, Zoe, grabbed my hand excitedly, cried, and fainted, completely dependent and fragile due to her amnesia. The doctor advised spending more time with her, noting her longevity and good fortune. I promised, even though I knew this clingy, amnesiac Sui would be sending frantic messages whenever I wasn't nearby. She complained about eating oranges and demanded I come for her immediately. With the auction approaching in a week, I knew I'd have to take her along, severing ties afterward. When we arrived at the auction hall, everyone saw the stunning young Sui and also caught a glimpse of my true influence. She was breathtakingly beautiful, and the commotion grew chaotic. People tried to disrupt Fussnose's auction, unaware that the event had been backed by a mysterious tycoon for 7 years. I couldn't tolerate the disruption. Climbing the steps, the crowd gawked like monkeys at a carnival. I raised my black card, and in an instant, the entire room fell silent. The security guards, ready to pounce, froze instantly. They all understood the gravity of the situation. This was treatment reserved for only the top echelon. A card like that, the top-level black card of the floating pavilion, meant even the boss would have to bow in respect. Not only that, these guards were determined to throw us out, and yet no one dared. My father's incredulous gaze fell on us. How is this possible? That black card belongs to my son. He just finished his exams. How could he be a distinguished guest here? He stammered. Old Wong barked orders. That card must have been stolen. Mother and son. Thieves. Arrest them. Send them to prison. But everyone around saw the truth. If he were a thief, why would Hong Kong's richest man allow his daughter to follow him? The room's attention shifted to Zoe beside me. Her presence alone made people hesitate. Miss Swan, you're young.
Save me.
If you hadn't handled that valuable card properly, how could it be entrusted to him? Another said, smiling, reaching for the card. I held it firmly. My father's smirk froze, unable to assert authority. Taking my mother and Sui, I led them into private room number 1, bodyguards stopping my father at the door. Private room number 1 is reserved for distinguished guests. Your level is insufficient. Please leave or we must escort you out, they warned. I settled in with my mother and Sui. Brother, let's find a seat first. We came for a jade Buddha to bless your son with peace and prosperity. Let's not waste time, my mother said. A jade Buddha appeared at auction. Average quality, overlooked by most, including my father, who raised his paddle confidently, expecting to win. Is anyone bidding more? The auctioneer asked. 1 million, 1 million, 2. Just as the final hammer was about to fall, the screen flashed. Private room 1 offered 3 million. My father's face twisted in shock. Darling, your son is making life miserable for me and Grandma, he muttered. I don't care, she replied. If he wants it, he must get it. I'll ask him later. He won't refuse. 3 million just like that. My mother exclaimed, "Your son is underestimated. How many zeros does this uncle have? Where did all this money come from? Did you rob a bank? Did the Su family give it to you?" I shook my head. They offered, but I declined. Money can't buy this. Then my mother reminded me of a pair of earrings she wanted. Without hesitation, she bid 10 million for emerald earrings. Cannon, my father's associate, was outraged. "Are you insane? How much did you give them in the divorce?" Spending 10 million like nothing. Before my father could respond, I spent another 50 million on a white jade ritual banquet with dragon designs from the Warring States period, and 60 million on an incense burner from the Granting Treasury. In just 20 minutes, I had spent 100 million. This time, it wasn't just my father who was shocked. Everyone around was dumbfounded. None of them could imagine anyone spending 100 million so quickly. Millions in liquid capital were out of reach for them, let alone for the unempowered Su family's daughter, Soji. The conclusion was obvious. That money could only come from someone else. Whispers spread. Hang Yang, the actual shareholder of Singen Group, now held a 40% stake in Giant's company. His achievements were recognized by respected elders, and people couldn't believe he had just finished the Gaoso exams. Jealous glances followed me everywhere. My father showed no pride, only regret for losing a prize worth 50 million. He never realized that my previous threats had been backed by my unparalleled network, not by any new supporter my mother might have found. He lingered at the auction until the end, trying to approach me, but others were faster, lining up to offer me business cards. When he finally tried to reach me outside, he was pushed, lost his balance, and fell at my feet. I picked him up, my gaze sharp. "Wan Taean, look at your face. Your relatives and neighbors would have harsh words for you. I suggest you confirm whether the child your dear Wan carries is truly yours." He tried to protest as before, but seeing the guilt on my face, he fell silent. If what I said was true, he wouldn't be raising another man's child. Swallowing his pride, he grabbed Cannon and took her for amniocentesis, and I wondered what expression he'd have when he saw the results. "Understand? Mind your own business. Mom, follow him and watch the show. I'll record a video later for you," I instructed. Just as I was about to warn him to be careful, Su, usually quiet, suddenly spoke. "Do you need me to check around? Have you regained your memory?" she asked. "Yes, and you've worked hard during this time. Let's have dinner tonight as a thank you. Isn't it true your company wants to enter the Hong Kong market? I can help. We can discuss it over dinner." I smiled but refused politely, knowing people can endure anything except financial loss. He left satisfied to find my mother, while I stayed behind to meet the business partners I needed. Spending 100 million today had been strategic, attracting attention and paving the way for future deals. After finalizing a few collaborations, night fell, and I called a car to rush to the restaurant. On the way, I received a video from my mother. "I broke up with your father and abandoned my child for you. How can you treat me like this? And now you want me to support this child? You and the old man stink. If it weren't for your money, would she even be with you? Hello, Shang. Darling, Mom is so happy. Your father is being deceived. How did Mom get so lucky? She raised such a good son, and through her efforts, collected all this money. I'm gonna pick up trash now." Just as I was about to respond, the car stopped in front of the restaurant. Let her enjoy picking up trash. I was backing her all the way. Inside, I sat down and Zoe didn't speak. "Don't look at me like that," I told myself. The alcohol was numbing my scalp. I braced myself, half expecting him to declare love like some clingy old man. "Siam, I've always wanted a little brother. Will you let me be your big sister?" he asked. "Sure," I replied. Fresh meat is always better than stale. I had things to do and couldn't let a woman tie me down, secretly relieved to have another backup keeping watch. Just then, my mother's phone rang. Damn. This time, she answered to a handsome, mature man.